Hi, 7th grade. Welcome to your review for topic 5. All of these questions are very similar to the questions on your test, so pay close attention. Moesha needs $79 for a class trip. She already has $22 and she can earn the rest by babysitting for 8 hours. If H represents her hourly earnings, which of the following equations can be solved to find Moesha's hourly earnings? Select all that apply. Well, the first one, $79 is her total, that's what she needs, equals 22 times H. $22 times the money she makes per dollar, that's not right. We know it's going to end up being 8H. So then I'm looking at the next one, 79 minus what she already has is equal to 8H, that works. 79 is equal to 22 plus 8H, that one works. This one does not work, it does not have 8H. This one does not work because we want to subtract 22. Because basically how I would build this is 79 equals the money she already has plus she's working for $8 for how much money she gets per hour. So that's the same thing as this third one. The second one we can get to just by subtracting 22 from both sides. It cancels out on the left and we're left with 79 minus 22 equals 8H. So it has all the parts we need. Okay, number 2. Neil's airplane needs a full tank of fuel to travel 2,600 miles. How many tanks of fuel T does Neil's airplane need to travel no more than 7,800 miles? Write an inequality to represent this situation. Each tank of fuel gives us 2,600. We don't know how many tanks he needs, but we know that we don't want to travel any more than 7,800 miles. So we can travel less than 7,800 miles or equal to, just as long as it doesn't go over. Solve the inequality. What does a solution represent in this situation? So rewriting the inequality, we want to solve. So to get T by itself, I need to divide both sides by 2,600. Cancels out on the left, I bring down my T, I bring down the less than or equal to sign, and now I have to divide. 7,800 divided by 2,600 equals 3. So what does the solution represent in this situation? It means that he needs 3 tanks or less. Okay, number 2. Anya budgets $194 for commuting to work each month. She buys a monthly bus pass for $68 and spends $6 each time she buys lunch. Which inequality describes the number of days, D, that Anya can afford to buy lunch? Well, if she has $194, she cannot spend more than $194. So she's going to spend, 194 is going to be the most she can spend or equal to. She already pays $68 for the bus pass, and she's going to pay $6 for each lunch, but we don't know how many lunches she buys. So that's going to be A. Same thing, but they just use the associative or commutative property, change the order. All right, number 4, Daniel needs to learn how to tie at least 35 different knots to earn a badge from his scout troop, so at least 35. He could learn more. He already knows how to tie 18 knots. Write and solve an inequality to describe the number of knots that Daniel learned to tie. So he already knows 18. He's got to learn K more. We don't know how many more. So then we know it's got to be at least 35, but it could be greater than 35, or it could be equal to 35. Now we want to solve it. So we are going to try and solve for K. So I need to get rid of the 18. The 18 is positive, so I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides. Cancels out on the left, so K is greater than or equal to 17. So now they want us to graph that solution on a number line. So I'm going to put 17 in the middle. and build from there. So this is 18, 19, 20. This is going down, 16, 15, 14. I know it's a closed circle because it could be equal to 17. He would exactly meet his goal at 17. Or he could learn more knots and exceed his goal. Number 5. Solve the equation 5.15x plus 6 equals 72.95. Okay, we're trying to get x by itself. I need to get rid of the 5.15 and the 6. So I need to get rid of the 6 first because we work farthest away. So I subtract 6 from both sides. Cancels out on the left. I have 5.15x is equal to 66.95. Then my next step in getting x by itself is to get rid of the 5.15. It's being multiplied to the x, so the inverse operation, I divide. Get out my calculator. 66.95 divided by 5.15 equals 13a. Number 6. Use the properties of equality to find the value of x in this equation. Well, first I see 12 on the outside of the parentheses, so I need to distribute to multiply. 12 times 5x is 60x, and 12 times negative 4.5 is negative 54 equals 36. Same steps solving for x. Got to get rid of the 54 first. Since it's subtracting, I'm going to add it. We do the inverse operations. So then 60x is equal to 90. Divide both sides by 60. Cancels out on the left, and x equals 1.5. Number 7. Solve the inequality and graph the solution on a number line. Okay, don't freak out just because it's fractions. You can do this. Just change them all to have common denominators. So I want them all to have a denominator of 6. 3, 6, and 2. So I'm going to multiply the first fraction by 2 over 2. Second fraction I don't have to change because it already is over 6. And the third fraction by 3 over 3. So that's going to give me 4 over 6x minus 1/6 is less than 3 over 6. So now I'm trying to get x by itself. So I need to get rid of the negative 1/6. So I'm going to add 1/6 to both sides. Cancels out on the left. I bring down my 4/6 x, bring down my greater than sign, and 3/6 plus 1/6 is 4/6. Now, I want to keep change flip because I can't divide by 4/6. So instead we multiply by the reciprocal, 6 over 4. This cross cancels and x is greater than, well, you could notice that this would cross cancel to 1, or you could multiply straight across. 4 times 6 is 24, 6 times 4 is 24, so x is greater than 1. Don't forget to graph or else you will lose points. So I'm going to put 1 in the middle and build from there. 2, 3, 0, negative 1. It could not be equal to 1. It could only be greater than 1. So that's why we have an open circle. Last question, number 8. Which graph represents the solution of the inequality 24x minus 17x is greater than or equal to 13x plus 15? First thing I want to do is combine like terms. So 24 minus 17 is going to give us 7x is greater than or equal to 13x plus 15. I want to get the x's to one side. I want to subtract 13x. I don't want to subtract 7x because then it would have nothing on the left-hand side. So 7x minus 13x is negative 6x is greater than or equal to 15. Now I want to divide both sides by negative 6. cancels out on the left. Now when you divide by a negative, remember you must flip the inequality sign. So it's going to be less than or equal to, and I'm going to do 15 divided by 6 equals negative 2.5. So I know it's not A because that's in the positives. I know it's not B because that's in the positives. Both C and D are in the same spot. The dot is in the same spot, but the arrows are pointing in different directions. And when X is less than that number, so the answer is D. All right, 7th grade, good luck on your test. I know you will do great.